Whoop whoop, that's the sound of the Twitter police. Because trust me, in Britain, if you post something on social media and the UK police don't like it, they're fucking coming for you. Even if you are talking about Muslim grooming gangs. Northumbria police have warned that offensive comments on the internet will not be tolerated, tracking down users who made potentially criminal posts on social media about grooming gangs. Because that's how I want my taxes to be spent. Hunting down people on social media who might have said something offensive. The force launched an investigation in its comments left on its Facebook page in response to articles about the Operation Shelter scandal, in which young white British girls were groomed and sexually abused and trafficked by mostly Muslim men of South Asian descent in Newcastle, just one of dozens of cities in which this has happened. Officers made a review of every comment on the page after a member of the public complained that a number of posts referred to the race and religion of the 18 people convicted following the operation. So a spokesman from Northumbria Police said that following an investigation which is now concluded, they spoke to 2 males as voluntary attenders and visited a further 4 people in their homes and provided them with words of advice, which sounds eerie and sinister really, doesn't it? What happened? Well, I was complaining on the police Facebook page that I wasn't happy with Pakistani, Asian, Muslim grooming gangs. Sounds kind of eerie, doesn't it? I mean, what happened? Well, I wasn't happy about the number of Pakistani Muslim grooming gangs in this country, and I thought I'd tell the police that good job, I'm glad you've done something about it. And then the police turned up at my home because I had mentioned facts about the case itself. But I mean, we don't get to see these posts, so I can only assume they were just open calls for genocide, because what else could they possibly be? And just so you know, the people who said, white women are good for only one thing, people like me to fuck and use as trash, didn't get charged with a racially aggravated hate crime. Despite the fact that it seems to be, from their own words, the reason that they did this, and it was labelled profoundly racist by the former Director of Public Prosecutions Lord MacDonald, members of the grooming gang escaped harsher sentences which accompany racially motivated crimes. Because you have to remember, in my country, racism is just illegal. Instead, Judge Penny Morland claimed the victims were targeted not because of their race, but because they were young, impressionable, naive, and vulnerable. I guess she knows the criminals' minds better than they know their own minds. Hello, yes, I'd like to fuck your young white women because they're just trash, and that's literally all white girls are good for. Oh, you poor man. You can't be a racist. You're brown. But this is by far from the first time that the police in the UK have demonstrated what I would consider to be almost predatory behaviour on social media over offensive tweets. For example, back in August 2017, Wiltshire Police, my county, decided that they were going to tweet out, "You can't hide from us. If you're spewing abuse from behind a computer screen, our boys and gals in blue will find you." I mean, aside from being a deeply transphobic tweet, you need to just say officers, Wiltshire Police. It's weird that you think you should be, I don't know, proactively hunting people down like that. I mean, it's really hard to codify what exactly I find wrong with this, but there's something about the intrusive nature of what they're suggesting. We're going to hunt out offensive comments on social media, and then we're going to find those people, and then we're going to jail them for their offensive comments on social media. I mean, it's so petty and authoritarian. And honestly, I worry where it's going next. The little computer screen and eyeballs emojis next to it is it's just creepy, and it gives me Orwellian vibes. So Wiltshire Police were being teased because they had a spelling error in one of their tweets. People started trolling them, as you should, and in response, Wiltshire Police released a statement saying, "We will not tolerate any form of abuse or discriminatory remarks made on any of our social media platforms. We are reviewing the posts and we will consider any potential criminal offences which might have been committed." I hope it was by people in America, where they can literally say anything they fucking want to you, because we desperately need some kind of freedom of speech legislation in this country, and I'll explain to you exactly why. This was a tweet from London's Metropolitan Police, and you can see by the little animated GIF they have here that they say that, oh, it's okay to say I don't like your kind of phones, but it's not okay to say I don't like your kind of phones and I'm going to attack them. Basically, they think that free speech is an opinion, saying, say, I don't like one race or another, is an opinion. But as we've seen, it's not the case. Otherwise, Northumbria Police wouldn't have needed to investigate a bunch of Facebook posts on their own Facebook page. Either the Metropolitan Police are full of shit, or the Northumbrian Police are vastly overstepping their mandate. Choose. Because you can either say, well, I mean, you can say offensive things and they're just your opinion, but you can't threaten people, or you can't just say offensive things. This is a choice you have to make. You cannot claim to support both positions. And this matters because arrests for offensive Facebook and Twitter posts are on the rise. I mean, this is just in London. In 2010, 625 people were arrested. That's 1 year, one city. According to the Register, a total of 2,500 Londoners have been arrested over the past 5 years for allegedly sending offensive messages via social media. So I cannot, in fact, just have an offensive opinion and voice that in public, because if I do that, Metropolitan Police, I'll get arrested. For example, in 2015, 857 people were detained, up 37% since 2010. And the reason the Metropolitan Police are full of shit is because the Communications Act of 2003 defines legal communication as using public electronic communications network in order to cause annoyance, inconvenience, or needless anxiety. Well, that's pretty fucking broad, isn't it? And the thing is, I'm not even against it being illegal to threaten someone, obviously. I'm fine with criminalising just open threats on any social media platform, even if the threat isn't actually going to be backed up with anything. Even if it's not credible, it should still be illegal. There's no need to start threatening people. If you're threatening someone, you've lost the argument. But causing annoyance, it's illegal to cause annoyance. An inconvenience. I mean, anything could be an annoyance or inconvenience. Holy fucking shit. And I love the fact that it carries a 6-month prison term or a fine of up to $5,000. And just in case you're wondering if Count Dankula's court case is somehow new or original in this country, it's fucking not. In 2010, Paul Chambers was convicted under the Communications Act after tweeting a joke about blowing up Robin Hood Airport in Nottingham. His conviction was overturned after a 2-year legal battle. So hopefully this should clear up anyone's concerns about why I want to try and change things in my country. We are at the point where the police in this country are going out of their way to try and find things that have been said on social media that they can call racist, so they can have what I can only assume to be the personal satisfaction of finding those evil racists and locking them up for their fucking tweets.